BET just suspended the Hip Hop Awards. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not even shocked about it. I mean, when you looked at what happened in 2024 with the venue, with the performances, and with the award show in general, it really looked like they was going to downgrade it or eliminate it altogether. But right now, we're at a crossroads where we have a problem because the BET Hip Hop Awards was the last major award show that focused on hip hop. So let's talk about why this really matters.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. This is your weekly album check-in. We're live. Thank you for joining me. No album review this week. I wanted to get into the BET Hip Hop Awards being suspended and why it's important that we talk about this, because this is like a big thing. And a lot of people may not look at it that way, but it is a huge situation. So I found out yesterday that the BET has officially suspended both the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. And I know those are important for different reasons. I know the Soul Train Awards have been here since, 87 or whatever the case may be. And the BET Hip Hop Awards started in 2006. I wanted to lean more into the BET Hip Hop Awards because that platform or that award show was really the only thing that we were using to celebrate hip hop. And with it being gone, we got a major problem on our hands. So the CEO, Scott Mills, said they're not necessarily gone, they're just suspended indefinitely, and they're trying to reimagine it for the streaming era. Now, the main BET Awards are going to still be running, and that's cool. That's all good when you want to get Hollywood and when you want to get all of these other celebrities out here. But if you ask me, BET earned their stripes off of hip hop. I'm old enough to remember Rap City. I'm old enough to remember 106 in Park. I'm old enough to remember those types of shows that were basically entrenched in what hip hop is. I'm old enough to be able to remember seeing the first BET Hip Hop Awards. So when you think about this getting suspended and this getting taken away, we're in a situation where we don't have anything else that's celebrating hip hop anymore. And as much as I don't really fuck with BET and the Hip Hop Awards like that, I still like to watch the performances. I still like to see what we're doing in the culture currently. And it really does make a lot more sense because that was the essence of what hip hop is. That was just that was the last platforms, one of the few platforms or one of the last platforms that was celebrating hip hop like that. And it being taken away really means that there's nothing out here for us anymore. Even though we try to get on social media and places like XXL, and I think that's really it. XXL try to give out awards every year. But at the end of the day, nothing is really televised like that, especially when it comes to hip hop. And coming from a place of growing up in the middle of that, it just feels really disappointing that we're not going to get it anymore. I know a lot of y'all are saying, well, why does this matter to you, man? Who gives a fuck? It's BET. They're the Tyler Perry network. But when you think about it, we don't fuck with the Grammys for real. They've only just started really getting it, I guess, quote unquote, correct for the last few years. We haven't really dealt with the Grammys like that. We know that the Grammys aren't for us, or the VMAs. They're not for us. MTV has a wide range of music that they deal with on a regular basis when it comes to an award show. They don't put hip hop in the forefront. So it really does matter because that was a show based on hip hop and it was awarding hip hop for all intents and purposes what we're doing for the culture. Now, I understand BET let this show get really stale. If you watch 2024's BET Awards, it looked like they was in a strip club. And that wasn't, if I'm being real, it wasn't a good look for nobody. The awards were kind of chintzy. The place that they had, it was chintzy. They was letting people wear whatever they wanted to wear. It really didn't feel like they had anything solid when it came to putting this show together. But it still celebrated rap on every level. It still celebrated hip hop, and we still got a chance to watch some of our favorites perform, and we got to see some of the old school acts come out and play as well. So it was still something that was ours for all intents and purposes. It was, even though I hated the fact that half of these people showed up with some bullshit on, or half of the performances was halfway done. Even Travis Scott getting that award that he got last year, it really felt like they they didn't put enough energy into it to make it feel as big as it used to feel back in the early 2010s. You know what I'm saying? So we're at a point where even though BET made it get really, really low budget, it was still there. And it was still something that was tangible, and it was still something that we could still talk about the very next day. No matter who won the awards, no matter who performed, no matter what was going on, we still had something to talk about. And it kept hip hop still resonating with everybody, and it was still relevant. One of the biggest problems right now is Paramount and what they're doing with a lot of the brands that they have. I mean, they're gutting and selling everything currently, and they're trying to sit up here and stay afloat, which I understand. We had an opportunity for them to be able to sell it off to Tyler Perry or sell it off to Byron Allen, but they never did that. They wanted to hold on to it because I guess they thought there was still value there. But at the end of the day, they're one of the major reasons why we're not getting a BET Hip Hop Awards this year, or maybe in the next 5 to 10 years. Who knows? And I'm not taking the responsibility off of BET either. They're not off the hook because they have been so mid and they've never really put a lot of effort into being innovative or being connected to what's really going on outside of what mainstream shit is doing. They're been a part of the problem for a very long time. So when you look at those two different things, yeah, the ship was gonna go down because the niggas who was on the ship was putting the holes in the ship. So it was going to sink eventually. And I think that's the problem that we've been having for the last 5 years. They don't really connect with a lot of people in hip hop like that for real. I think they get a bunch of suits in the room to say, this is what's cool, this is what's popular, let's do this, this, and this, and maybe we'll be able to put on a show. And it feels like Paramount never really gave them a good enough budget to give us what we deserve, which is great nominees. They didn't give us the type of performances that we deserve. And I'm talking high level performances, not some of the acts who think they can perform. And they took away some of the bare bones things that made the BET Hip Hop Awards what they are. I think those three things are the main reasons why we're getting this suspension, or we're getting the BET Hip Hop Awards taken away. Like, they just really didn't connect enough with everybody. And that was just, when you don't connect with your audience who's been there for a very long time, this is what it ends up being. And this is why we're here right now. And we don't have anything to back it up. We have no other shows that's going to be able to celebrate hip hop the way it should be celebrated. Which brings up this question: do we still watch BET for anything other than Tyler Perry? Honestly, I think the programming on BET has changed so significantly to what it used to be. BET used to have a little bit of everything for everybody. They used to have the shows for like your mama and them. They used to have Rap City for people like me. They used to have, like the throwback stuff for your uncle. You get what I'm saying? Like, they had programming for a lot of different people at one point in time. And now BET is just the home of Tyler Perry shows. And then don't get me started on BET Plus, which might be the place that the award show might end up at. BET Plus has a few things here and there. I've watched a few shows on BET Plus. They have a lot more freedom to be able to say and do what they want to. But at the end of the day, it's still no hip hop based content made for me. I don't want to watch. Like, they have all the King's Men, all the Queen's Men on that channel on BET Plus. Sorry, not really trying to get into that right now. I want to be able to watch. I want to be able to have more stuff that's leaning towards what's happening in hip hop with underground artists, or how the independent scene going, or maybe even have another version of Rap City, which I think they tried to revive and it failed miserably. They don't know how to connect with the audience anymore. They don't know who's watching anymore. They're just running programming just to be running programming so they don't go away completely. And if we're being honest, BET has just been a shell of itself for a very long time. And that's just something that's kind of sad when you think about it. I just remember the golden era of BET, and it's done. Even the 50th anniversary of hip hop, they missed the mark on that. They didn't even try to go big on those things. BET Hip Hop Awards was where we were supposed to be able to be seen. We're heard. We're the people who are supposed to be talking about what's going on as far as like music is concerned. And that's all taken away. And I don't know who BET is for anymore, but it ain't for me. So during this whole conversation about BET Hip Hop Awards going away, that was the question of what's going to happen next. Will it go to streaming? I say yes. Send it to streaming, most definitely. But don't put it on BET Plus. Put it on Tubi. 45% of Tubi's audience is black. So you already have an audience there waiting for it. It would be the best move possible. It is on a free app. It is where the audience is there. And I think a lot of that audience listens to hip hop. Most of the black independent movies that's on there, good or bad, are on Tubi. We watch Tubi. And I feel like that would be the perfect move. That would be brilliant to be able to put the BET Hip Hop Awards on Tubi. Why not? Give it away for free. I take it a step further. You guys should most definitely get a YouTube situation going on as well. A huge percentage of black audience watches YouTube. I watch YouTube every day. Most of my shows I watch on YouTube. So why not have a situation where you can make a deal with YouTube and get this thing to where it can be accessible to more than just the audience, the cable network audience. Find a way to make the Hip Hop Awards stream and put it on, most definitely put it on a streaming service that's free. And what two better streaming services than YouTube and Tubi? It makes perfect sense. You already have the install base there. So last year, I actually did a video talking about how to fix the BET Awards. And I'm gonna link that to this video too, just so you can kind of see where I was going with it. But there's some things that we can do to most definitely if you're gonna bring it back, these are some of the things that you should do to bring it back. Go back to basics. The ciphers. That is probably one of the biggest things that the BET Hip Hop Awards has been missing for the last few years. And I'm not talking about reality show people. I'm not talking about who did they get? They did reality show people one time. They did comedians. They did a lot of gimmicks. Get rid of the gimmicks. Go back to what it used to be. Rappers, DJs, and a mic. Black and white. Bring the ciphers back to what they used to be. If we don't use the ciphers as the fucking foundation of the BET Hip Hop Awards, you don't get the point. Make the nominations reflect entire hip hop landscape. Stop doing this mainstream bullshit and actually get some rappers in the room and get some executives in the room and figure out what works when it comes to your nominations. Because y'all nominations look real flimsy out here in these streets. It looks pretty bad. And it reflects y'all not really knowing what's going on outside. Find some nominations that actually reflect what's going on. Also, figure out a way to get the newer talent with the legacy acts and have a nice balance of both. You need both of those people, both of those audiences to be able to watch this if you want the BET Hip Hop Awards to be a success. Once you probably sway one side or the other too much, you're going to lose that. Figure out how to balance it out. Figure out how to get people to watch both. And tap into your younger fans, bro. Y'all niggas need to figure out how to get the streamers involved, how to get the influencers involved, and most definitely get the hip hop podcast involved. Like, figure out how they can host different segments, or figure out how they can be a part of the awards without making it look goofy. Figure out how to integrate all of what's going on as far as like how we've evolved in hip hop and make it work. Like, it's not that easy. I mean, it's not that hard. You guys can figure this shit out if you get more people in the room who knows what's going on and who's connected. Y'all are so out of touch when it comes to who should be nominated or who should be performing to win or whatever the case may be, and beg the bigger acts to perform. I would love to see Drake perform at the Hip Hop Awards. I would love for Kendrick Lamar to perform at the Hip Hop Awards. They've done it before, and they should be able to do it again if we're celebrating hip hop as a whole. At the end of the day, BET needs to figure out how to make this a cultural event all over again. Major stars performing, bring back the bare bones and the ciphers, and make it feel like they're missing out on something legendary instead of making it look like you at a strip club. Like, I don't want to see it at a venue where you can get wings in the back. Figure out how to make this into something relevant again and make it into something where people most definitely want to be a part of the moment. It can be done if you guys actually sit down and figure this shit out instead of sitting up here looking like y'all stupid and y'all don't understand how to be outside. At one point in time, a lot of the people who work for BET had to be outside doing some of the shit that we doing now. I just want this to come back because it was one of the last few staples that actually awarded us, celebrated us, and gave us an opportunity to see what's coming up next. And if it goes away completely, we got nothing else. Then we have to depend on the people on the other side to be able to give us what they think we want when it comes to hip hop awards. So tell me, what do you think? Do y'all care if the BET Awards are still around at all? Would you watch them if they were on streaming? What would make you actually tune in? There's a conversation to be had, and it's in the comments. All right, so I wasn't gonna let y'all go without even talking about what's dropping. That's the least I could do if I'm not reviewing any albums this week. So let's talk about some albums that I think you guys should be checking out tomorrow when they drop on streaming. One of the most anticipated albums of 2025 will be dropping tomorrow. Jid, God Does Like Ugly. This is his fourth studio album under Dreamville, and this builds the momentum from the Forever Story. Now, I have been waiting on this album for a minute. Ever since I seen when he said he turned the album in 2024. When he said that, I knew it was going to be time for us to get something new. This is supposed to be more of an introspective album. This is supposed to be more dark. And if you listen to the GDLU pre-looks, then you already know he is coming with some great rhymes. He's coming with lyrics. He had a pre-looks with Eminem on there. Eminem didn't even make the album. So I don't know what he's going to give us. But we've already gotten the track list, but he hasn't shown us what the features are. I'm really excited to see who is going to be on this album. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a J. Cole feature on here, but that's all I know. I don't know anybody else that's going to be on here, and I can't wait. People are saying that there may be an Andre 3000 feature on here, but it might just be him playing the flute. I don't know, but I am anticipating the Jid God Does Like Ugly album. I've been waiting on it, and I can't wait to listen to it. That's my most anticipated album for this weekend. Also coming out for all of you boom bap classic hip hop heads, Rock Marciano and DJ Premier is dropping The Coldest Profession. Now that is going to be really cool because it's two legends of the game. Rock Marcy has been giving us some pretty good music in the last couple years. I like the stuff that he's done with Alchemist, Elephant Man Bones series, been really good. This with DJ Premier is probably going to be on another level because both of them still can get down. DJ Premier, still one of the best producers out there when it comes to hip hop. And I think this album is going to show us what we've been seeing most of the year, that the OGs still got it. The OGs can still put out some really good music. I can't wait to hear what the production is going to sound like because this is going to be pure head nod classic hip hop shit. So I'm really excited to hear what this Rock Marcy DJ Premier is going to sound like. Finally, Gunna, the last one, is supposed to be dropping tomorrow. This is his sixth studio album. This is his last album under YSL 300 Entertainment. And he has promised us 25 tracks. I don't know what we're going to get from this. The last two Gunna albums have been great. He's been on a nice run. His feature list looks great. He's got people like Offset, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Sake. He's got some heavy hitters on here. And we've already kind of heard a little bit of a snippet from him and Wizkid. I cannot wait to hear what this is. 25 tracks too. I think Gunna has been on one of the best runs of one of the younger artists out here in a long time. He's really put out some great music, and this is no different. I think, if we being real, he been outdoing Lil Baby. For a long time we looked at Lil Baby as the next one up, but honestly, when we listen to the bodies of work, Gunna's the man out here doing it big. He's killing every album he's put out. He's killed ever since he came back from jail. Ever since the whole YSL trial thing, the snitching thing, he has most definitely been out here dropping great albums. I have not been disappointed with anything that he's put out here. So this is going to be no exception. And with this being the last one on YSL, we might get him saying what's really on his mind, how he feels leaving the label. Whatever he does after this, he's going to be successful in it because Gunna has he's niched out he's carved out a little spot for him in hip hop that ain't nobody fucking with. He's just had a hell of a run, and I can't wait to hear 25 tracks, what they're going to sound like. I know the production is going to be there. I know the rhymes is going to be there. It's going to be a lot of vibe music too, but Gunna is one of them ones, man. I think we underestimated him more than we should have, and I'm excited to hear what he's going to have for us when he drops this album tomorrow. So in the comments, let me know what y'all checking for, man. Are y'all looking for the JID album? Are you looking for some old school stuff with Rock Marcy? Are you really, really trying to get with that Gunna? Tell me in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Or if it's somebody that I missed, please put them in the comments and let me know who I need to be listening to this weekend. But that's all I got for y'all this week, man. Thank you for joining me for another episode. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And if you're not, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, you hit notifications, give me some likes, and always give me some conversation in the comments, man. It's always there for y'all. I will catch you guys on Sunday. Take care of yourself. I love you. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.